Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Royce Moore's Curriculum Night. I hope you enjoyed that music from Chris Botti, one of my favorites, and how appropriate that he was playing Somewhere Over the Rainbow as we are in this really unusual Netherland of a pandemic curriculum night and a pandemic year. I am so grateful to have all of you with us tonight to learn about what your kids have been up to with their teachers so far this year and what they have to look forward to in the year ahead. I have here on my desk a horseshoe. I received this, or I've got this, it has my name on it, you might see it, when I was a little girl. And I brought it back to put on my desk during these times to remind me that we all need a lot of good luck and good work to get through this time together and partnership. And I am incredibly grateful for the people who have helped us kind of build a new school. We had to reinvent how we do school this year. And I have had the tremendous support of a deeply dedicated administrative team, and you'll hear from some of them tonight. They worked super hard with the faculty to make it possible for your children to be here on campus. I also have the incredible support of a talented board of trustees who are so dedicated to your children and to this school that have helped us lockstep along the way as we worked through all of the plans to make sure that we could open on campus in person. There are two people, non-trustees, that I want to do a particular shout out to tonight as a note of thanks that made a big difference in our ability to open on campus this year. And one is Dr. Anita Shaw, who some of you probably heard from this summer when we had our town hall meetings. She has served on our health and safety task force. She's a critical care pulmonary doctor and just has brought so much expertise to the table and continues to support us with the health and safety task force and bringing her expertise to bear. So grateful, Dr. Shaw. Thank you so much. The other person I want to give a huge shout out to is our senior Ephraim Zimmerman, who created the school wellness screener. If it were not for Effie, we would not have this smooth entry into school every day and our ability to have these health attestations of your kids as they come into school, and that we can keep track of illness and symptoms as they arise. So thank you, Effie. Thank you, Dr. Shaw. We're so grateful for your partnership. So tonight, I want to share a little bit about this school year with you and this moment. So I'm going to bring my screen back up to share. And this moment is a time for both a lot of wisdom and a lot of creativity. And at this moment, in a time of great challenge, that's when innovation happens and a lot of creativity happens. As Albert Einstein once said, imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited to all we now know and understand, while imagination embraces the entire world and all there will ever be to know and understand. We focused the start of this school year on getting reconnected and getting our bodies back into the groove and embracing new practices like mindfulness. We want to engage the imagination and open portals for creativity that allow for greater learning and problem solving. A couple of weeks ago, I was in the lobby and I heard this beautiful music coming up from the gym entrance area we know as the zone. And I wondered what that was all about. So I strolled down to the zone area and I found Paul Shannon, one of our new PE teachers, sitting on the bench. And there were middle school kids just kind of splayed out all over the floor in the zone area. And I leaned into Paul and I said, "This is beautiful music that you're playing. And what are the kids doing?" And he said, "Well, these kids are practicing mindfulness. We had an opportunity for the kids in PE to choose if they wanted to be engaged in mindfulness or dodgeball." And then I went and peeked into the gym and there were kids throwing the balls, at each other, playing dodgeball. And I thought, perfect, this is perfect example of what we are experiencing in this moment and the juxtaposition of how we're dealing with stress. In some cases, we need to breathe deeply and practice that centering and that mindfulness. In other cases, we just need to throw something. So if you're feeling that way, just know it's normal and we understand. And we're here to help your kids navigate through that as well. We are working with them in learning mindfulness. And we have embraced mindfulness school-wide this year because we feel it is just so important and so critical to what our all of us need. And research has shown the anxious generation, this children under 25, are more stressed and anxious than ever before. And you can see the statistics here. And for mindfulness, we believe that prior to learning, our students must feel safe and supported. And that's why we placed a really strong emphasis on the social emotional aspect to learning this year, especially in this moment of the pandemic. So we started the mindfulness in Calm Classroom last year. Darcy Aksamitowski began it down in the lower school, and I asked her to take the lead in helping us bring that school-wide, which we now have happening throughout the school. In fact, even before our faculty meetings and our admin team meetings, we take a pause and we practice mindfulness ourselves. Mindfulness is just a way of paying attention to what's happening in the moment and observe what's going on inside to help you focus and center yourself. It has been shown to improve that focus, to reduce stress and anxiety, to increase that emotional awareness and regulation, support positive communication and skills, and increase that regulation. And we believe that teaching young people these skills at a young age sets them up for success in life. Now, mindfulness doesn't always look like someone sitting in a yoga pose. They might be laying on the grass with pool noodles, socially distanced. They might be sitting on top of a desk turned upside down, or they might be looking kind of like they're sleeping. But we recognize for everyone, they need different things, and we're supporting them in practicing that moment to calm themselves. And just like a lot of other aspects, mindfulness sets the stage for creativity. This year, how we do school looks a lot different, obviously, with the masking, the social distancing, and the hand washing amped up in significant ways. And, just like those things being different, art, PE, athletics, they look different as well. So here you can see on the left a picture of some of our fourth graders in art and how they are able to have that safety set up between them in art class. You see another group of lower school students in what used to be the middle and upper school side of the dining hall now cleared out for PE space. And what you're looking at there are kids participating in human foosball. There's some creativity there. We're also having to reimagine sports this year. And we thought this is the perfect year to launch a League of Legends team. And believe it or not, this is a new varsity sport that we're launching. Ron Tain, our remote learning instructor and teacher, is supporting them as the coach. And there are over 100 colleges across the US and Canada that have begun offering official esports programs. And scholarships.com reports that more than 30 US colleges and universities offer considerable scholarships for gamers, believe it or not. Leading the way are schools such as the University of Utah, also University of California, Irvine was the first public college to build a gaming arena. And Stevens College, the first women's college to sponsor a varsity team, they all offer scholarships for gamers. So we thought, well, you know, we have a lot of kids who like gaming. Why don't we give them an official opportunity to play for their school? This is the moment to do it. And our teachers have just been incredible in the ways that they are supporting kids. But I will admit, and if you press any of them, they usually won't admit to parents or anyone else, but it's been a little rough. It's been tough to do school in this way, because this is not what any one of us expected. If we go back to March, the way our teachers pivoted so quickly into remote learning and supporting your kids was just amazing. Going into April with all of the iterations of scheduling, there was a lot of problem solving. By the time May came around, there was a lot of exhaustion and hope that we're almost at the end. I think there was a lot of hope for all of us that we wouldn't be starting this year the way that we are, with pandemic still in such force in our community. By June, we had done a lot of problem solving. We had a lot of relief that we'd gotten through the school year. We also were planning to open our summer camp. And in July, we felt pretty stable. Opening summer camp, and things were going well, all of our new safety protocols in place. By the time August came around, anxiety started to increase, not only for us, but I'm sure for a lot of you, in making those choices of whether to have your kids be on-campus learners or off-campus learners. And you know, we knew we needed to support you whatever that choice was, because you know, rightly, there's a lot of anxiety and there's fear about this disease. And for us, we wanted to support you in the very best way that we can. Now we're in September. We're feeling we're on a good thread. We're in the 4th week of school, having a lot of stability. October comes around. We hope we're not back into the exhaustion phase, but it's a lot that everyone's dealing with. So I shared with our faculty just this last week an article that referenced something called surge capacity. And surge capacity is defined as a collection of adaptive systems, mental and physical, that humans draw upon for short-term survival in acutely stressful situations, such as natural disasters. But natural disasters occur over a short period. Even if recovery is long, pandemics are different. The disaster itself stretches out indefinitely. No one prepared any of us for this, but we're all working to build up our resilience bank accounts and show kids that we can get through this. I want to acknowledge Ron Tain for his amazing support of our off-campus learners and all of the creative ways that he is supporting them. And I want to thank all of the parents for your wonderful partnership and patience as we figure out how to do this. We've done a lot of preparation. Our teachers have worked really hard, but there's a lot of things that, until you're actually launching it, you don't know exactly what's working really well and what you need to adjust. So we continue to adjust and support, and we thank you for your patience and partnership in that regard. I also want to acknowledge my appreciation to Laura Daniel, Maria Jamal, Lisa Littberg, Bessie Mbudiga, and Bridget Montgomery, who've taken the lead in forming the Parent Social Justice, Equity, and Inclusion Group. They had their first meeting earlier this week, and soon you will hear from them. They'll be putting a survey out to get your input into what their focus should be in the year ahead. So be on the lookout for that as we continue our commitment to social justice, equity, and inclusion at Royce Moore. I also wanted to let you know that our Health and Safety Task Force does continue to meet through the school year. We've just launched version 5 of the Health and Safety Plan, and part of our weekly effort is to determine an operations level of operating based on what we're seeing in terms of what's happening with COVID in the local community, as well as the compliance with mitigation efforts here at school and whether there are any COVID positive cases in the school. I'm thrilled to say we have not had any COVID positive cases among our students or faculty to my knowledge at this point. So thank you all for being great partners with us, for taking all those precautions off campus as well as on campus, and we hope to stay as open as long as possible. We are currently operating in the yellow operations level, so some of our after-school programming isn't happening right now. We may see more of it launch hopefully soon. And with that, I am going to welcome Sarah McGuire, who you all know, hopefully, as our Director of Development and our liaison to the Royce Moore Family Association. And she and her team are going to share with you ways that we hope to build community and keep you connected in the coming year.
Thanks, Adrienne. As she said, I'm Sarah McGuire, and I'm the Director of Development here at Royce Moore. You see me wearing the hat of RFA liaison, alumni coordinator, yearbook co-sponsor, and some other duties as may apply. Part of my role here is to immerse myself in the community and discover the things that are the most important to all of us and find a way to make those connections happen. And often that is through philanthropy. I also have a personal stake in all of this, as I am a parent, just like you, of a 6th grader, Lenny, and a freshman, Phelan. As we have seen this school year, this time in our history is unprecedented. Though our school actually did weather the last global pandemic in 1918, the world is a different place. So the technology that has allowed our world to grow and to spread the pandemic is also the technology that is enabling us to be together now, to thrive, to forge new paths, and to continue to support each other, no matter what the distance, but please 6 feet. You are a part of an amazing community that is intent on growing and supporting world citizens. Students today will become the change makers of tomorrow, and we forged our values early here at Royce Moore. Throughout our 105-year history, that has been a value. We're forging world citizens, creating deep thinkers. Our small class sizes and our deep relationships between faculty and students gives us the opportunity to be creative in a number of ways and to differentiate on a dime and to create an environment where we have happy, engaged students, whether they're in their classroom or on their couch. You came here because you wanted something amazing for your kid. That's why I came. I want to create adults and support you in creating adults that remain curious, that think, and that engage with the world. You know all that, and you believe all that, and that's why you're here. In order to get to know you all better, Adrienne and I are committed to meeting one-on-one with families. This is to get to know you, to learn more about your family's hopes and dreams, and to exercise my hat-wearing abilities. But seriously, the more that we can do to help our students and your children achieve, the better, and often the connections are that Adrienne and I can make. So we put together with our institutional memories ways that your kid can find a new path forward. So I will reach out to new families first, but if you're just aching to meet with us, we do want to see you all. So I'll put my email address in the chat when I'm done talking, which I promise will be soon. All of our family members benefit from enriching your students' school life through meeting with faculty, volunteering, attending many events, and soon you will receive our year in review via email from the 2019-2020 school year, and you will see that for the third year in a row, we had 100% participation in our Griffin Fund from faculty and trustees. That's a big deal. The trustees is something that is beginning to become the norm in the philanthropic world, but to have every faculty member, that is from Mr. Ziggy to Miss Adrienne, gives to the annual fund. As a tuition-driven school, we have only a few sources of revenue: tuition, rentals, and philanthropy. This year, we can't count on those rentals. We made the decision to keep our community safer by keeping those who enter and exit the building much smaller. This is one of the reasons why you're not to come in the doors. It's another reason why we are not allowing anyone else other than our students and faculty and essential workers into our school. We've put into place many safety precautions that ensure this safety and upgrades to our Wi-Fi and equipment to ensure that our remote learners are also equally engaged. You will learn much more about this when you receive our annual appeal for the Griffin Fund in a few weeks. But I'm going to let a parent do some speaking for me. Marissa De La Torre is the mother of one of our talented seniors, Ella Chintagunta, and she is going to tell you a little bit more about the Griffin Fund through a very short video. So here you go.
My name is Marisa de la Torre. My daughter is an upper school student at Roycemore. I'm here tonight to talk to you about the Griffin Fund. This is the annual fund that bridges the gap between the cost of educating our children and the tuition that we pay. It supports a wide range of things, from recruiting and retaining teachers to financial aid. This year is going to support as well investments in technology that are really helping with the online learning. And it's going to support as well investments that help the students and the adults in the building to be safer. In the past 3 years, 100% of the teachers, staff, and the trustees at Roycemore have participated in the fund. Last year, 68% of parents did participate as well. We're hoping this year to reach 100% participation from parents. Obviously, participation will look very different depending on resources. Our family is committed to participating, and we find two particular reasons for doing so. One is to support the adults in the building, because the relationships that are built between students and teachers really allows the students to take risks and really try something out of their comfort zone and succeed. The second reason that we have for participating is to support the diversity in the school, in the student population, because we think it's important to have students around you that have different experiences, opinions, perspectives. That really, we think, is going to help our daughter to have a more open mind and really approach problems maybe from many different venues that she never thought about before. We hope that you can find your reasons as well that participate in the fund. and that we show the commitment to the school. Thank you for being part of Roycemore, and thank you for your commitment to the school and your participation this year. You will receive an email in the next couple of weeks with more details, and expect a couple of phone calls in the next month from our team of volunteers. Thank you again.
Thank you, Marisa. One thing we know that we can count on here at Roycemore is you. And we want the same thing as you do, an incredible experience for your student. To help with another part of all of this community building it is my pleasure to introduce the Volunteer of the Year for the 2020 school year, Miss Karen Houston.
Hello, Sarah, and all of our Roycemore Griffins. I'm glad to be here. I have a son, Theo, you might not want you to call him Theodore, who's a sophomore currently at Roycemore. And then I have a daughter who graduated in 2018 from high school at Roycemore. And I really became involved with the Roycemore Family Association because I care about, like all of you do, the school that my kids attend, and I want to be involved with it. And our Roycemore Family Association is like, some other schools may consider it like a PTA, although the Family Association is really run and used by the families of our students. And we try to support the wonderful faculty and staff that we have. We support our students. We try to build an even stronger community than what we have at Roycemore currently, and so much more important in these current times. So we just ask all of you to participate. You're all automatically members of the Family Association as people who have students at Roycemore. We have lots of volunteer opportunities. If you have a special skill or something you'd like to share with our students, then you can contact us at the Roycemore Family Association or our liaison, Sarah Griffin. We're still looking for class parents for each of the class. We really like to have a parent from each class who's kind of our go-to. There's 2 upper school parents, myself and another person, and 2 middle school parents and 2 lower school parents who are the sort of executive committee for Roycemore Family Association. But then we like to be able to give information to the individual class parents so that they can send it to their own class, because they just have a much closer relationship with the parents of their child's classmates. So please, 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 this role is so important, even more important in these times than it has been in the past, because of the fact that we are relying so much more on electronic communication, as opposed to in the past. We could build community at the different events that would take place at the school, some of which we will not be able to do in the same way as we have before. So class parents have duties such as scheduling an online play date or a social hour for the students, or organizing a social distant gathering for the students or the parents, create an experience online in a classroom, or help out with school organizing activities on a weekend. Some of us this past weekend were there to organize the school spirit wear that we currently have on campus to create kind of a school store, spirit store. And you'll be hearing more about that soon, about what is available for purchase from our spirit store. Also, a gift will be coming to each family member from the Roycemore Family Association in October. Remote learners will have packages available for pickup. I have some upcoming social things that are already on the calendar from our family association. Middle school opportunities, socially distant outdoor meetup on Sunday, September 20th at 2 p.m. at Lovelace Park. And we've received some other suggestions from the middle school for ideas, and any division, please suggest your ideas. They're also looking to plan an after-school meetup on Friday, September 25th. And then there's a parent-student book club discussion on Saturday, October 10th at 2 p.m., also in Loveless Park, discussing the book Yes, No, Maybe So by Becky Abertali. And in upper school, we've just sent out an email today to all of our families that on Tuesday morning after school drop-off, so about 8:30 a.m., we're gonna have a socially distant coffee in Merrick Park, which is close to Royce-Moore. And in the lower school, they're working to create opportunities to volunteer in the classroom via Zoom, maybe reading a story or teaching a yoga class. So these are just some of the ideas that we have coming. More to come, but we need your input and involvement. So thank you and enjoy curriculum night.
Karen, thank you so much. See what I mean? When you have a pandemic, creativity and innovation come to town. So with that, you're going to learn more about how that's happening in the classroom. So sign off here, go to your divisional links, and enjoy your evening. Thanks, everybody.